here a popular face on the channel, Mr. Deza Suleiman, and I also have here Judith, aka Ngozi, aka I can help people get good jobs abroad. So, Madam Judith, today I just want you to share something brief about yourself. I know that you don't have time, and also share an honest advice for migrants who are looking for well-paying jobs abroad. Okay, your honest, genuine advice. Okay, pass fast.
Okay. All right, so thank you everyone for having me. I remember I was also a carer when I met Tolu. Yeah, I met her when she went to drop her child in school, same school with my daughter. And then she was telling me, oh, why not going to tech? I was like, what do you mean going to tech? Is that what you do? And then she said yes, that she got a job after she had a training with analytics. I was like, wow, then give me the link, because I've been trying to get one, and then the one I got was in London. I was so expensive. I even bless God I haven't paid. So when she shared analytics with me, I went to check on Instagram and I saw it. And then I joined. The fee was very okay, because compared to what I was going to pay for, that one was so high.
I like one thing that you said. I have not really thought about it. You said that the fact that like the people who teach you into analytics are very familiar to you.
Yes, I could ask them questions.
Yes, I think that's a great thing that it doesn't come to mind. Like the fact that, you know, there are people who have been where you have before, there are people who are familiar with migrants, situations and all of that. You're likely to understand them better when they teach. You understand? Yes. Hi, Pavel. How are you?
Good, and you?
Sorry for the delay, okay? Where are you at the moment speaking with us?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona, USA.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice. How long have you been there?
I came here since 2021. I left from Cameroon, Nigeria.
Okay, so you're not a Nigerian?
I'm a Cameroonian.
Okay. Oh, nice. I like the diversity as well. Interesting. So today, Pavel, I just want you to give an honest opinion or an honest advice to somebody who is a migrant, somebody from Africa, somebody from Asia who has found themselves abroad or who's looking to move abroad. How do we stop the standard jobs? Not like there's anything wrong with them. The cleaning, the warehouse jobs, the carer jobs, the domiciliary, and land a good job, a good well-paying job like you are doing.
Well, I want to say that anyone who is coming from maybe Africa and moving abroad and wants to have a better job must all be willing to inform themselves. I believe when I was working so hard, my situation was a teacher in Cameroon.
Hi, Pavel. How are you?
Good, and you?
Sorry for the delay, okay? Where are you at the moment speaking with us?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona, USA.
Oh, okay. That's nice. How long have you been there?
I came here since 2021. I left from Cameroon, Nigeria.
Okay, so you're not a Nigerian?
I'm a Cameroonian.
Okay. Oh, nice. I like the diversity as well. Interesting. So today, Pavel, I just want you to give an honest opinion or an honest advice to somebody who is a migrant, somebody from Africa, somebody from Asia who has found themselves abroad or who's looking to move abroad. How do we stop the standard jobs? Not like there's anything wrong with them. The cleaning, the warehouse jobs, the carer jobs, the domiciliary, and land a good job, a good well-paying job like you are doing.
Well, I want to say that anyone who is coming from maybe Africa and moving abroad and wants to have a better job must all be willing to inform themselves. I believe when I was working so hard, my situation was a teacher in Cameroon.
Stop that. The second video. But now after seeing Judith and Pavel, now I'm inspired. What do I do? Yes.
All right, fantastic. So I have a presentation. I'll go through the presentation very quickly. Okay. And everything Judith and Pavel did that helped them land the job, I'll be sharing that with every single one of you. So I'll go ahead and share my slide and just let me know as soon as that is up. Okay, fantastic. Now, one thing people need to understand, and this was exactly what Judith and Pavel did, was understanding that employers don't want perfection. They want people with the proof that they can deliver, the right candidates. And employers would want that. They would want you to have two things: skills and experience. And most people take skills, just the technical part of things. They ignore the employability. But if you listened to Judith, she mentioned that the moment she changed her CV to the templates that we gave to her, she started to get interviews and eventually she was able to land a job. All right. So skills and experience, not just the technical skills, but also employability. So what we do at Analytics is understanding that when learning the skills that employers want you to have, you must learn that in a blended learning environment. So Pavel also talked about the beauty of the Tenalytics LMS, the learning management system. So that's the platform where at your convenience, any day, anytime, any day of the week, you can log into the LMS, watch your videos at your own convenience. And perhaps I would show what the LMS looks like practically, so you have an idea of what the platform looks like. It's pretty intuitive. You see the program you've registered for, you can go through the programs, work on projects, and it's pretty amazing. Then you have the live classes. So, and this is why it is blended. A lot of people, and I forgot to mention something or ask Pavel. Pavel had done training somewhere, but he wasn't getting a job and he had to come to us. The training Pavel did was 100% self-paced. And that's the same mistake a lot of people make. In the self-paced class, you can't ask questions. You can't raise your hand and say, I'm struggling. Can I share my screen so you see what is going on and help me resolve that problem? Two things that were common in what Judith and Pavel said. The facilitators are very patient. Anytime you send them messages, they respond. And that's why you want to have your live classes. So that's how you learn the technical skills. The self-paced platform, the LMS, and of course, the live classes, which happens on Saturdays. Then you have the employability skills. And this is where I dare say that we are the best. And this is why our participants have been so successful. We help you with your CV. We revamp your CV, we review your CV, and you have an industry standard CV. And this helped Judith to land that job, working remotely from the UK, working for a company in the US. We help you optimize your LinkedIn profile. Judith and Pavel did the same thing. Navigating the job market, where to apply, how to apply. Where did Judith see that remote job to apply to? We provide those platforms, we provide you the jobs, we send them to you every single week. Every Sundays, we update the job board and you go there, apply to those links, and you know exactly what to do when applying to jobs. And when you have interviews, we prepare you for your interviews. The negotiation, all the different process, the steps for Pavel to land that job, even to his portfolio. When he built his portfolio, like I asked him, he shared it with me. I gave him feedback, detailed feedback, line by line on what to do, what to make changes on. And that's where you know exactly what to do when you walk into the room, asking the right questions. You have your interview prep sessions. So you are guided with the preempted questions you're likely going to get. So you've prepared beforehand. You know what they're likely going to ask you, and you have the right answers. Then when you eventually land the job, we provide you with job references, because organizations would want you to show that you have, a reputable company that can vouch for you. On the job support, for somebody like Judith or Pavel, if they have any issues, they're still part of the community. All they have to do is reach out to their facilitator if they have any challenge on the job, and somebody would help them out. The weekly mentorship session, I talked about that. After the weekly mentorship session, I get tons and tons of emails on questions, and that's where the hand-holding happens. You can ask your private, direct questions, and you get instant feedback, eventually. And finally, Upwork optimization. You see the employability part. This is where a lot of people struggle because they don't know how to get this done, even though they might have the technical skills. So this is what we do for you at Tenalytics. All right. Now, one other thing that makes the difference is the experience. And Judith spoke a little bit about that, where she talked about working on projects. So with the experience, this is where you understand exactly what to do on the job. Evidence that you've done it before, and evidence that you can do it for that company you are moving into. And the only way you can show a potential organization that you have the right skills and the experience to do the job is by building a portfolio. Your portfolio is your shop. That's your center people can walk into and they can see what you've done before.
Somebody will ask, is a portfolio similar to a CV? Like, what is a portfolio? Because we only hear portfolio. What is it?
A portfolio is totally different from a CV, okay? And I can highlight and show you what a portfolio looks like here on my slide. So let me go to a data analyst portfolio, for example. So I'm going to click on this, and it takes me to Victoria's portfolio. All right, Victoria. Now, this is like a website.
Oh.
You host it on GitHub. And all the projects you work on, you update them here. Now, Pavel said he got a job in healthcare data as a healthcare data analyst. You work on multiple types of projects. This project is for the emergency room of a hospital, analyzing the patients in that hospital and helping to recommend how to reduce the patient's wait time. Okay, so everything you've done, you upload it right here into your portfolio. So it's pretty much a platform, a website you host all your projects on. So I can click on this hospital analysis, for example, and I can see what Victoria has built, and any potential organization, any hiring manager can also see the same. And it is interactive. It's like you walk into the tailor's shop. You want to sew a particular dress, and you can see what the tailor has sewn already. You can touch the material, feel the quality. That's exactly what this is. I can click and interact. I want to see data for Q1, Q2. I can click on that, and it interacts dynamic and shows me data, based on what I've selected. So this is what a portfolio looks like, essentially. So there are more projects right here, and anybody who sees this can come here and see what Victoria has built, over the last few months, over the last few years. And that's what gives employers the confidence that you can actually do the job for them.
So by the end of my program at 10 Alexis, how many projects would I have been able to do to put on my portfolio?
Depending on the program you join, but on the average, you have between 15 to 25 projects that you'd have completed. Yes. Wow. 15 to 25 projects.
I was going to say 3 or 4. Okay.
No. Your program is for 6 months. So you work on so many projects, when you cover different types of modules and the technologies you'll be learning and so on and so forth. So once you are done, whenever you work on projects, you upload to your portfolio. The second way you also build real life work experience is through our internship. So all our programs come with internship. So the internship is where you get to work, in a cross-functional team. Different professionals come together. And I can bet that Pavel, that created a separate community, got that community during the internship, because the internship is designed with people in similar areas because of the time zone difference, and you work together in groups to solve problems together. So naturally, you're already creating a subgroup within the entire Tenalytics community, working together, solving problems together, and that's the best way for you to solve problems in a real organization. You don't work in silos, you collaborate to solve problems. So you're going to complete 6 months learning with Tenalytics, and then you jump into the internship for 2 months with Amdari. Amdari is a sister company to Tenalytics. You joined Amdari for your internship, where you get to work on projects, solve problems together for the next 2 months. And Amdari is also registered, operates out of the UK, Canada, just like Tenalytics as well. So you wanted to ask a question, Nanel.
What is Amdari like? What exactly do you do? I know it's a sister company, but is it like an IT company? Is it what is it?
Fantastic. So now imagine, Nanel, you've gone to, let's say, Coursera to study a particular program, project management, but it's usually very theoretical. You don't know how to put the things you've learned into practice. You don't have work experience to show that you can do that job as a project manager. Amdari would equip you with work experience. So you join Amdari, you work on projects, you have a coach that is like your line manager that would supervise the work you do. And as you solve problems, you make presentations, that would add to your work experience as a project manager. So we have a lot of people who have the skills, but they don't know how to do the job when they get the job. All they have are certifications and the technical skills. And Amdari solves that problem by equipping you with real-world projects designed by real-world experts. So I design projects based on my experience. We bring in other professionals, industry experts that create case studies out of their own experience. And for somebody like you joining Amdari, you work on those projects together in a team. You make presentations, you recommend solutions, just like you would in a real world environment, if that makes sense, Danielle.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So between learning the technical skills, employability skills, and you gaining experience, this is how we help you land the job. So you have everything you need. What that employer wants from you, you can showcase it. So there is no doubt that you know how to do the job and you've done it before. All right. And one of the things we also use to stand out is the mentorship session. I highlighted that already. And of course, we also send you jobs. So this is a screenshot of different jobs that we send: visa sponsored jobs, remote jobs across the US, for example. And every weekend, we scrape these jobs from paid job boards. So these are not jobs you'd go to LinkedIn, Glassdoor, CV Library, and so on to apply to them. These are paid job boards. We subscribe to those boards, we pay for them, and then we scrape jobs and we send them to our students. All right. So these are visas.
That's the part that kills me, honestly.
Yes. These are visa sponsored jobs, for example. For those in the UK who want to apply to visa sponsored jobs, these are not jobs you're going to find on the gov.uk website. Find jobs. Go to LinkedIn or Glassdoor or CV Library or read.co.uk. These are jobs on dedicated platforms for only visa sponsorship. So, and that's what gives you the advantage eventually. All right. So what I'm going to do, because I know people would be asking the question, what exactly did Pavel learn? What exactly did Ngozi learn? Did Judith, who is also Ngozi, we know her as Ngozi, but I mean, she's also Judith. What did she learn as a business analyst? So I'm going to quickly walk you through the key skills that would help you land that job in 2025, just like Judith and Pavel. So for the business analysis program, what you learn in order to get a job and land a job as a business analyst, these are the key learning areas. The first thing would be to understand the data aspect of business analysis: Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Understanding how to use that to analyze data, extract insights, visualize your data, and so on and so forth. I spoke with a lady yesterday. She's a business analyst, but she doesn't know Excel. She doesn't know Power BI. She doesn't know SQL. And she told me that I've been applying to jobs. I've been trying to apply to jobs, but most jobs require SQL for a business analyst. She's coming back to do business analysis with us, even though she's done it somewhere. So I always tell people that the modern business analyst, the business analyst in 2025, you can't land a job without having data skills. So this is where you start from. You learn your data skills. Then you move to process mapping, project initiation planning, Agile, and Scrum for projects. So you're going to learn how to use Lucidchart and Draw.io for your process mapping. You learn how to manage projects, collaborate on projects using Confluence, track project deliverables using Jira, track your team members' tasks and responsibilities using Trello. And you'd also learn how to use Azure DevOps to ensure that you implement the Agile framework within any organization. You'd learn the software development lifecycle, requirement fundamentals, elicitation, stakeholder analysis and engagement, and AI using ChatGPT for business analysis. And this was exactly what Judith learned to land that job working remotely. Then for the
somebody, to a lame person, this thing looks too much. Hey, what is SQL? What is Power BI? Hey, what is this? I need to learn all these things. It's like it's even more difficult than their university degree. What can you say? If that's my
it always feels impossible until it is done. It always seems too difficult until it is done. But I tell you for free, Nanel, business analysis is one of the most straightforward career path you'd want to get into. So every single thing you would learn in order to land that job, you learn it during the program. You have 6 months to learn. You have 2 months internship. So you have more than enough time, not just to learn the skills and apply those skills and embody the skills to know what to do on day one. So the curriculum is designed for the beginner. And that's why one of the things you'd hear all the time is, no matter the question you have, no stupid questions. You ask one question 10 times, you get response 10 times. And that's because we know that you are coming from a background as a carer. Because Judith was a carer. Now she's a business analyst. Pavel was a teacher. Now he's a data analyst. So the program is designed in a way that it doesn't matter where you're coming from, your past experience, you are able to learn the skills, put it into practice, work on projects, and eventually land a job. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the Agile project management, which is one of the other programs that we offer, you learn all the key areas in project management, from introduction to project management skills and communication, the Agile and Scrum foundations, understanding the Scrum framework, the Scrum artifacts, advanced Scrum and Agile practices, understanding how to use Jira and Confluence end to end in a project, and how to also use Kanban, the Kanban boards for workflow management. You'd learn the different Agile metrics and reporting tools like the velocity, burn up, burn down charts, and so on. You'd learn leadership and the real world application in the real world as a project manager. You'd learn the Nexus Scaled Scrum, and we prepare you for the professional Scrum Master examination. So these are the tools and technologies you'd learn as an Agile project manager. It doesn't matter where you are. Pavel joined us from the US. Judith joined us from the UK. You have times that fit your time zone. Your classes are designed that way. Saturdays are for your live classes. If you're in the UK, for example, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you are in Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, West Africa, the UK, similar time zones, Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you're in the US, Canada, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So what this means is Nanel can be in the UK and you're not free in the morning, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., but you're free in the evening. So you can join the class for those in Canada and in the US, which would be roughly 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. your time. So you have that flexibility. And then every Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays, every other day of the week, all you have to do is join the LMS, you watch your videos, practice on your own, and you join the next available live class the following Saturday. The timeline, 8 months, 6 months learning, 2 months internship. But what you would find most of the time is people land jobs before they're even done with the program. And that's simply because we encourage it. The job is always more difficult on paper. So we teach you everything. But most of the time, to land a job as a business analyst, you don't need 1 to 9. All right. But you want to have all the foundational, knowledge and tools, everything you need in order to land the job. But usually organizations will not expect you to have everything. So once you are 3 months, 4 months into the program, you start to apply to jobs. If you get interviews, we prepare you for those interviews, and eventually you are able to land one. Pavel joined us in August and he got a job in January, roughly about 4 to 5 months. All right. So this is for business analysis and the Agile project management. Then you have data engineering. And of course, as a data engineer, you start with introduction to data engineering. You learn SQL, structured query language. You learn Python to build your ETL pipelines. And what's the job of a data engineer? To take data from wherever data is generated and move that data into a central location that is easy to access. So if Nanel goes to the ATM to withdraw money, a transaction is recorded. If you use your mobile app, your Lloyds Bank mobile app, for example, you carry out a transaction, that transaction is recorded and it is stored somewhere. Whenever you go to the store, you go to Tesco, you go to Primark, you want to buy something, what happens? A transaction is recorded. So the role of the data engineer is to ensure that all those transactions, wherever they are created, can be extracted, directed to a central location so that anybody who wants to use that data can easily access the data. And to build those pipelines that will move the data from wherever they are generated to where they need to be in a data warehouse, you need to have Python to build those ETL pipelines. You would learn Linux for your bash scripting. You'd learn how to get data from databases, APIs, scrape the web for data. You'd learn Apache Spark and Apache Airflow for your data pipeline automation, orchestration, and scheduling. You'd learn cloud engineering tools and technologies, GCP, Google Cloud Platform, and Azure, Microsoft Azure. You learn version control with GitHub and AI using ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot as a data engineer. So one of the things you would also see that we've done, Nanel, is to embed AI into all our programs as well. So for the data scientists, you start with statistics, you move to Excel for predictive analytics and forecasting, you move to Tableau for your data visualization, business intelligence. You'd also learn SQL, Python for your exploratory data analysis, machine learning, computer vision. You'd learn GitHub for your version control. You'd learn AI for data science using GitHub and ChatGPT. And finally, Microsoft Fabric. And as a data analyst, you'd get to start from problem solving. You'd move to Excel. So this was what Pavel did. He joined our data analytics program and he landed a job as a healthcare data analyst. So you learn problem solving, you move to Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, data storytelling, ChatGPT for analytics, and Microsoft Fabric. Again, the structure of the classes are similar. The timeline is also similar. 6 months learning, 2 months internship. Now, for the financial analyst and the HR analyst, they are both data analysts. The only difference is the financial analyst is a data analyst that focuses on financial data only, while the HR analyst is a data analyst that focuses on HR data only. All right. So for the financial analyst, you learn your data skills, problem solving, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. These are your data skills. Then you go into the fundamentals of finance, accounting fundamentals, financial analysis, financial modeling, valuation, sensitivity and scenario analysis, and ChatGPT for financial analytics. Then for the HR analyst, you learn your data skills, problem solving, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. These are your data skills. Then you move into the core HR areas, HR analytics and performance evaluation, HR metrics and life cycle, HR analysis and dashboarding, collaboration and report automation, building your case and creating action, which is simply getting the organization to utilize the recommendations you'll be presenting to them after carrying out your analysis. And finally, ChatGPT for HR analytics. Again, the structure of the classes are the same. You have classes for those tailored to Europe, the UK, West Africa, similar time zones, and for those in the US, Canada, North America, and so on. And of course, your learning timeline is also 8 months, 6 months learning, 2 months internship. And finally, we have the cybersecurity program. For the cybersecurity program, you have 3 major specializations. The first specialization is GRC. The second one is the Security Operations Center Analyst. And finally, the third specialization is the pen testers, the penetration testers. And these are your ethical hackers. Okay. So for the GRC, just to summarize, these are the professionals that ensures that the organization has a governance framework within the organization to ensure that the right stakeholders who gives access to critical resources within the organization, like who has access to a data warehouse, who has access to the database containing sensitive information. You create the governance framework. You help the organization establish cybersecurity policies and procedures that align with the organizational goals and also regulatory requirements. So that's what you're doing essentially. You are creating and ensuring that you also monitor the compliance records, compliance audits within the organization. So you are creating policies, frameworks to ensure that the organization is safe, essentially. Then the SOC analyst, what you do as a SOC analyst is pretty much to watch out for threats. You are the control room for cybersecurity. So you look for anomalies within the network, anomalies within the systems. If something spikes, why is it spiking? Is somebody trying to penetrate a system? You stop that particular threat, you investigate, you stop the attack, and you ensure that you're able to prevent future attack as a SOC analyst. So just imagine I want you to see the SOC analyst as that person who sits in front of the camera, in front of screens, monitoring the camera to see what is not, happening the way it should. Who is trying to open a door that it shouldn't open. That's pretty much what the SOC analyst would do to ensure that they're monitoring the network, the systems for anomalies. Then you have the penetration testers. These are the professionals that ensure that before you try to break into my home, I'm going to test all my doors. So when I lock my door in the evening, I, try to pressure it a little bit to see if it opens or if it is properly closed. So I'm trying to look for vulnerabilities with my, security. So the penetration testers will try to penetrate systems within the organization to ensure that if they identify vulnerabilities, they can address it and provide solutions to mitigate somebody externally breaking into that system. So, and that's pretty much what penetration testers will do. So completing our cybersecurity program would give you access to any of these three specializations, especially during your internship. So you're going to learn the overview of cybersecurity, the different roles, technologies, information security principles, the network security threats and vulnerabilities. You're going to also learn network reconnaissance and vulnerability scanning for somebody who wants to get into ethical hacking. You'd learn how to respond to incidents, threats, and your ability to also identify the different threat actors. You'd learn compliance audits and policy development. You'd learn how to escalate privilege escalation, exploitation techniques, security awareness training and reporting, and so many more. All right. And for a cybersecurity professional, the timeline similar to the other programs: 8 months, 2 months, 6 months learning, 2 months internship. So the question is, how do I start today? How do I start today? That's the question a lot of people would ask. Ungozi, a friend recommended her. That's Judith. Her friend had completed Tenalytics, got a job, and told her that, look, you want to get a job, go to Tenalytics. Pavel saw us on Instagram, but how did he start? He joined a session, understood what we do, and eventually decided to register. So we have a cohort starting on the 10th of May. Okay, that's the very next cohort starting on the 10th of May. So every month we have a new cohort. All right. June, we have a cohort that will begin on the 7th of June. Okay, we have another one coming in July, August, until the end of the year. The beauty about joining the cohort on the 10th of May and on the 7th of June is we have an amazing discount for the Nanel community. So for those who want to join any of our programs, business analysis, data science, data analytics, just like Pavel, business analysis, just like Judith, rather than paying $900, which is the full amount for 8 months, you get to pay just $750. You get a 20% off because you're coming from Nanel's community. And you can also make payments in 5 installments, $150 per month for the next 5 months. So it's flexible. It's easy for you to get started. You're not breaking the bank to start your journey. All right. I'm going to show you how to get, started, how to make your payments, what happens when I make payments. And for those who would like to ask more questions, because you're not entirely sure, do I join data analytics? Do I join HR analytics? The link to the Tenalytics community would be posted, and all you have to do, join the community. We invite you for a clarity session. You ask all the questions you have, and eventually you get to decide and start that journey. All right. So for those who know exactly what they want to maybe register for business analysis and so on. All you have to do, the link is also going to be posted in Nanel's in the description below. All you have to do is click on that link and it takes you to the enrollment center. Okay, so the enrollment center would look like this. So once you click on that link, it takes you here. All right, and all you have to do, go to the program you're interested in. Okay, you're interested in joining business analysis, for example, or cybersecurity. Come in here, click on register for cybersecurity, and it takes you to where you can go ahead and make payments. So for cybersecurity, for example, for the May cohort, the cohort starting on the 10th of May, we have just 6 slots available. All right. So for those who want to join this particular cohort, the seats are running dry. You want to get in as fast as you can. If I want to make payments in pounds, I can do that. If I want to make payments in US dollars, I can select that. All right. So if I make a one-time payment, after getting the Nanel's discount, you get a further $50 discount if I make my payments one time or twice, the first month and the second month. But again, you can make your payment in as much as 5 installments, and that's where you get the Nanel's discount. Instead of paying 900, you get to pay just 750. So if you click on this and click on secure your seats, you can easily get started. And you can pay in any currency. Just come in here, type in the currency. If I want to pay in Ghanaian cedi, I can select that. If I want to pay in Naira, I can select that as well. If I want to pay in pounds or euros, I can select that too. So I want to pay in pounds, for example. I want to make 5 installments or 4 installments. I select any one of them and I click secure your seat. And you'd see your payment timeline, your first payment, the next month, the third month, and so on until you complete your final payment. Click on proceed and it takes you to where you enter your full name, you enter your email address, your phone number, and by the time you enter your credit card details, your debit card, and you make payment, you get an automated receipt into the email you've provided. And you'd also get redirected to a form for you to complete your registration. Now, after completing the registration, all you have to do is wait. You're going to get a confirmation from your program lead with all the login details for you to log into the LMS. So at this point, I'm going to show you what the LMS looks like very quickly. Pavel mentioned that you get amazing, fantastic materials. So for anybody who's registered, you have access to a dashboard. So your dashboard is where you log into the class you've registered for. Okay. So let's assume I have an interview coming up. This is where I book my interview prep. So you don't need to talk to anybody. You don't need to send any message. Just come in here, click on schedule appointments, and you can book your interview right here. Select the date you want for your interview, upload the CV you've used to apply, and you'd schedule a session and somebody will sit down with you and walk you through. And of course, you also select the program you've joined. So if I've joined business analysis, all I need to do is click on continue learning and it takes me into my class. All right. And this is where I get to watch my materials, watch my videos, practice at my own convenience. Okay. So this is what your LMS look like. You have an AI chatbot. I'm not going to get into this, but this is Oluko. For those who knows Yoruba, Oluko means teacher. So this is Tenalytics AI trainer designed using the latest GPT model. So for those who have code related issues, if you come to Oluko and you simply tell Oluko what you want. So if I type my first name, for example, Oluko would ask me, what do you want? Do you want career related issues? Are you preparing for an interview? So you have all the necessary resources on this LMS to guide you through your journey. And of course, you also have your live classes. Your live classes, you have the recording. In case you miss a class, you can come back to the recording. You can watch the video. You can see exactly what happened in class. You can see exactly what happened in class on that particular day. You can revisit every single thing and you get to understand clearly what happened on that day that I missed class, what kind of questions were asked, and so on and so forth. And that's what the platform looks like, essentially. Your materials are also available. You'd see where you have your employability session, Upwork optimization, your mentorship sessions. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, you upload your CV. We work on that for you. Where you have your job offers, all you have to do is come in here, click on that spreadsheet, and you see the jobs we post every single week. Those that come with sponsorship, those, for those who want to get remote jobs in the US and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's pretty much what the platform looks like. And that's how you can also get started with us. And if you have any questions, you can send us an email, reach out to any of my colleagues using any of these numbers. Send us an email at inquiries@analytics.io and somebody would respond. But more importantly, click the link in the description. You have more questions, join the community. You are compelled to get your journey started. All you have to do is click on that link and get registered. And I want to say this as I end, Nanel. A lot of people feel that it is difficult, it's impossible, there are no jobs. But everyone that has achieved something successful, just like Pavel and Judith said, they did that in that same environment where people are complaining. So what did they do right? That's the question you should always ask yourself. And that would lead you in the right direction and you know exactly how to get started. Okay. So I don't know if you have any questions for me, Nanel. The cohort for the 10th of May, the registration ends on the 6th. All right. But again, you can register, you get into the cohort on the 10th, or you can get into the cohort on the 7th of June. So while filling the registration form, if you have commitments for May, you can start on the 10th of May. You can select, I want to start on the 7th of June. So Nanel's discount ends when the May cohort also starts. So you can't take you can register now and start in June, but you can't take advantage of the discount and move your program till, let's say, September, for example. The discount will not apply in that period.
Why won't it apply?
Because we have limited slots for the discounts for that. And again, and this is where a lot of people always they get it wrong. So they've been joining since January, February, March, April. Discounts are available. They don't take advantage of the discounts. But when the discount is gone, they come back and they start begging, oh, can you go back to the old price, and so on and so forth. So if you think this is what you want to do, you want to land a job, you want to get into any of these career paths, the best thing for you want to do is get started. That's usually the most difficult decision, but that's what would help you thrive eventually. So I don't know if you have questions for me, Nanel. I'll be very happy to take your questions.
So I know that about maybe lots of people are feeling dizzy with everything that Mr. Deza has said, because it's a lot. Some of you by now, I know that you're probably feeling dizzy, but it seems overwhelming. Mr. Deza says it or talks about these things with so much ease because he's used to it. HR analyst, data analyst, business analyst, it's a lot. And I know that you're probably wondering, hey, it's so much. I don't even know which one. I know how to do something. I don't know which one I should do. Which one will get me a job fast? I want anything at all that'll give me a good paying job. Where do I even start from? Just click on the link, okay? And I would also, some people find it very difficult to access the description of the video on the YouTube. Don't worry. If you're one of those people, don't worry. The first pinned comment, as for comment section, everybody knows comment section. I'm going to pin my community link, okay? My Internal Analytics community link. I'm going to pin it in the comment section. Just go on there and then ask your question, and then somebody will get back to you, and then you'll be able to choose. Because what I don't advise is for you not to know what you want to do and then just pay the money anyways, and then no. In order to make the most out of this, so that in future you come back to say thank you to myself, thank you to Mr. Deza. Sit down and plan this well and know what you want and know all the information that you need before you go ahead. Okay. So join the community with the link, the pinned comment in the link. And for all other links that we're speaking about, they'll also be in the description as well. And then ask your questions. Somebody will get back to you. You get to know exactly what you want. Probably maybe based on what you learned to school, what will be best for you. Probably maybe based on your interest in life. Okay. And then you will know what to do before you go ahead and pay. And remember, Mr. Deze is being generous, but not generous enough, because he's saying that the discount is so please, okay, if you want to make the most out of it, also make your decisions fast, okay? And you've seen Judith. I want you to be the next Judith. I want you to be the next Pavel. Okay. So thank you so much, Mr. Deza. Okay.
It's a pleasure anytime.
Everything. I'm really impressed with you. Every day you amaze me. Every time you amaze me. Thank you so much. Yes.
It's a pleasure. Anytime.
So Deza, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Some people get turned off with 1 hour recording. So you know what I'll do?
Yeah.
I will divide I'll post 2 videos out of this.
Okay.
Because as much as I want analytics to make the most out of coming to Nanel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also want people to watch my videos as well, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll divide it into 2, or let me not say I'll divide. I'll post 2 videos. I'll post the first bit of it where it was more about the testimony, which is probably about 20
Okay.
minutes, with
Okay.
the title on the advice, okay? And
Yeah.
then I'll record a video saying that if you want the full video, click on this link or whatever, and then I'll post the full video as well.
Okay, that makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, no matter how catchy the thing is, and you know, these days, because I'm sure maybe you know, the attention
Yes.
span of people, especially
Very.
when a lot of, you see, this is not like with the Maya where he's going to this location and going, we are
Yes.
connected. It's
Yeah.
very important time for people to watch through like an hour just sitting there like they're in a classroom. So that's what I would do. I'll post that one, and then I'll say that if you want to watch the full, and I'll post the full video as well. And then you guys can arrange with Judith whenever she's available, and then I'll send her questions on what I want to ask her, you know, and then she can prepare, and we can arrange for a time that suits both of us, and then we'll do her interview as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds very good. Okay. I remember that I bought these glasses in the UK actually. Where you mentioned. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing you wear it too.
I do.
You've always worn it in our videos.
Yes, I think so.
I
think so.
Maybe because today your face is a bit dark. That's why it is coming out.
Oh, okay. I was also going to say something. Yes, I really appreciate the level of, what would I call it, dedication and commitment to what you do as well, because we interact with so many influencers, people like you. But I'll tell you for free, the first time I had a session with you, ask Elijah, I told him, oh, I love Nanel. I love the way she walks. Yeah, because it was normally they approach the conversation in a very robotic manner. So they're just reading questions and asking. But your first session, you didn't read. I don't think you read the questions directly. And that showed that you had prepared. And it was more conversational than robotic. And it's always more exciting that way.
I feel like when you are yourself and when you are genuine, people have a way to sense it. People can sense it, and you move them. Even if you're not able to get as much views, the number of people that you will move to make that click will be more than if you had, it's absolutely that always works. So
absolutely.
All
right, thanks a lot, Manel.
By the way, what offer will you give me? So my husband was telling me he wants to join, right?
Okay.
But I'm not letting him join immediately, because right now, if I say he should join, he will not have time for the child, because I'm writing an exam. So I want to finish with the exam before, so that after I'm done with my exam, then I'll give him the go ahead to start. What offer do you have for me?
When he's ready, don't worry. Just come to us.
Now, will he pay? Or is it a deal that we are doing that I'll advertise for you? What is it?
So what's convenient for you?
Do you tell me what you want?
I'm okay with anything, to be honest.
I'm trying to write I'm probably going to write the exam maybe in August, and after that he can join. All right.
Say that again.
My exam, I want to write it in August.
Oh, okay.
God willing. So now he's doing a lot of the taking care of the child, so that I can go to the library, so that I can study for my exam. It's basically my exam to move to the
US.
Yes. It's not an easy exam. Like, it's really tough. Like, it's not easy. I wanted to show you my pile of books over here. but so if the two of us say we are chasing dreams at the same time, no, it won't.
It won't work.
So I'm taking the lead. But he did mention it. He watched one of our interviews and he's interested. Initially, he wanted to join this particular one in the US. That's my friend of mine. I don't know if I've spoken to you about.
Yes, you did mention.
But the time was not way. So I made him to watch one of my videos, which he hardly does. And then I made I made my interview with you, and he was quite impressed. So I've told him that I'll speak with you, and then when I am done,
Okay.
I didn't even want to tell you now, but I wanted to finish the August one, and then hopefully he can also start his. So what is the deal? And then first of all, as well, secondly, he did
Yeah.
he did petrochemical engineering in
Okay.
KNU in Ghana. He came to
Okay.
Manchester, University of Manchester here in the UK, and he did his master's in chemical engineering. Okay.
Okay.
And then at the moment, he's working for a company called Hatamaki. So
Okay.
they produce, is a manufacturing company. They produce all the, the KFC boxes,
Oh,
the
okay.
McDonald's boxes, all the packages. Most of the big brands in the UK, they do their packages for them, right?
Okay.
So looking at this, I don't know which of them will be the best. Because just like my viewers, me, I also get confused when I hear you talk about all of those things. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
very confusing. So, which of these will be the best for him? And the fact that we are moving to the US as well very soon after my exams
Yeah.
and all that,
Yeah.
and which of these things, which of the ones you've mentioned will be easier to transition into based on his educational background and based on the fact that we are either being in the UK or moving to the US.
Okay. So there are three programs I would recommend.
Mhm.